end of a dynasty. Draymond Green declining his player option with the Warriors. He will become a free agent. Yesterday, the new Golden State general manager, Mike Dunleavy Jr., talked about keeping Draymond where he's always been.
We really want Draymond back. What he means to this organization, this team, in terms of trying to win at the highest level, we feel like we have to have him.
All right, so that's what he says. But take a close look at this. This is France. Not exactly sure where in France, but it looks lovely. But one way or another, look who's together hanging out in France. That's LeBron on the left in the blue hat. That's Draymond Green on the right in the green hat. The two of them are chilling in Europe for their summer vacation. Oh, how delicious does this feel? Before we even deal in what is realistic and isn't realistic and money and all those things that aren't fun, let me ask Kendrick Perkins the fun question. Is or is not Draymond Green exactly what LeBron and the Lakers need to put themselves over the top of the Western Conference? Yes or no, Kendrick Perkins?
Absolutely he is, especially with Jokic being in the Western Conference, Jokic being the best player in the league right now. You definitely need a duo, a defensive duo like Draymond and AD. Can you imagine those two guys on the floor together? Can you imagine the key that Draymond Green could put in Anthony Davis's back? That's what he needs. He needs a guy like that that's going to bring that tenacity, that's going to bring that fierce force energy every single night. So, if you think about it, he could put the Lakers over the top. They got swept all because they could not control and guard Jokic. So if you get Draymond on that team, it would be one of the best defensive duos we have seen in NBA history.
So let's then step back, because that picture made me start to dream. Oh, you're over here, Wendy. Let me talk to you over here. So that picture made me start to dream about a possible future. But now let's deal in the present. What does his opting out mean? Because fans will read, oh, Draymond opts out. It's over in Golden State. And then there's Mike Dunleavy Jr. saying it's not over in Golden State. So, Wendy, is it over in Golden State?
No. First off, let me just say that Draymond's opting out is 100% expected. It is not a surprise. We've known about it for weeks, if not months. It is a procedural move that we did not, see. It was no issue with this happening. Absolutely, from what I am told, there is dialogue between the Warriors and Draymond with an intention that he would remain there. Having said that, they do not have an agreement, and they certainly could have come to a new agreement on an extension before he opted out. They did not do that, so at some level, Draymond Green will be on the market. As Perk just said, I think Draymond would be extremely valuable to any team nearing contention, because he is the exact type of player you want on a competitive team, especially in the Western Conference. But the problem is, for a team to be in contention usually means they don't have appreciable cap space. And in the case of the Lakers, they would have to pretty much dump all of the players that they got over the last year to open up that space. That is not something that Rob Pelinka, the general manager, has indicated he wants to do.
All right, fair enough. So let's go backwards a minute here. Let's go back to Golden State before we go further, because there's two moving parts here, right? Steph Curry is going to be there until the day he hangs up his sneakers. But you've got Draymond and you've got Klay Thompson. What is the expectation, Wendy, as far as both of them staying and keeping the band together and trying to continue the dynasty?
Now you've hit on something, because if you look at where the Warriors are going forward with the new CBA rules and their current luxury tax situation, they simply cannot afford to keep this team together as constituted at the salaries they're at. And I'm not sure that if Draymond Green isn't willing to take some sort of reduction in his annual salary, I'm not sure he fits alongside Klay Thompson if he's not willing to take a reduction in his annual salary in an extension discussion that is going to be happening this summer. He has 1 year left on his deal. And let me just point out, last year, before last season, they did an extension with Andrew Wiggins. The reason they did that extension, Wiggins took a $9 million pay cut. His salary this year is $9 million less than it was last year. That $9 million literally represents tens of millions in savings in luxury tax money for the Warriors. They need to keep this team together. They need all of those players to kind of follow Wiggins. I agree. I know what people are yelling at their TV right now. They're saying, well, then why did they pay Jordan Poole? The Jordan Poole's due $30 million salary is mucking this all up. I agree. And if they can figure out a way to move off of Poole, I think they will, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to. And that's the situation the Warriors are in.
Get in here, Hon.
Yeah, they are in prison when it comes to the luxury tax and the new rules, and they know it. And their only opportunity to try to win another championship in this window where they have Steph Curry is to keep spending. The question is, will they and can they? And for Draymond Green to opt out at $27 million, you're saying, is he going to take less? Is he going to take less for a long term? That's just something they have to work out. But the Laker thing is at least real hypothetically because of the fit, just like Perk said. I think you put a guy like that on the Lakers, you got something special with his toughness, playmaking, all the things he brings. And another team that if I were the Memphis Grizzlies, I'd want to be on this too. Bring in somebody to clean up the mess that is that locker room.
Yeah, Draymond brings so many different things. There's nothing more popular, I would think, with teammates than a guy who is incredibly valuable and doesn't care about scoring.
That's right.
Right? Everybody wants to play with that guy. But let's live in the Warriors of it for a minute here, Perk. We talked about the Lakers. Look, where there's a will, there's a way. If they could find a way to do it, maybe they will. Wendy will point out that it seems unlikely based upon the finances. But how about the Warriors of it all, Perk? Do you believe they need to try and find a way to keep those guys together and come back? Can they win another title with the core group that they've had?
Well, Greeny, can you explain to me or clarify to me who is their core group right now? Because I think people need to understand this, right? When you think about the core group of the Warriors, they think about Steph, they think about Draymond, and they think about Klay Thompson. Right. Well, me evaluating the Golden State Warriors now, the core group is actually Steph, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green. So I believe that the Warriors need to do everything in their power to make sure that they come to agreement to keep Draymond Green. And honestly, I'm not pushing the line to keep Klay Thompson. Long as I have Draymond Green, Steph Curry, and Andrew Wiggins, I could fill in the blanks from there. Klay Thompson has not been the same since he's in. 2 postseasons have been a roller coaster with him. And even when you go back to looking at when they won the title 2 years ago, Andrew Wiggins was the second best player on the team. If Steph Curry doesn't win Finals MVP, Andrew Wiggins would have won Finals MVP. So the new core group for the Warriors, who they need to be focused on, is Draymond, Steph, and Andrew Wiggins.
All right, that's fair. It's an interesting way of looking at it. Let me put a pin in that conversation and come back to it because I do think there's a lot more there. And again, Draymond and LeBron vacationing in France together. How much fun does that sound like, by the way?
It's a great time. Who's paying?
I'd like to get involved in anyone. What difference does it make? In the meantime, Sunday, of course, we had the news breaking surrounding the Phoenix Suns making a major move, finalizing a trade to acquire the 3-time All-Star guard Bradley Beal from the Wizards.